Well, welcome back to Life at the Lodge. Obviously, it's wintertime. I'm up at both lodges, both cabins. We're at the main lodge doing some renovations, but I'm actually staying at Sophie's cabin. Just a little bit easier with the kitchen all tore apart, so I've just decided that I would stay here and actually really enjoy it. This episode is going to be a look back episode on a hunt that I did in British Columbia. A really cool, really fun hunt. Anytime that you get to take a float plane into the mountains, land on a lake, set up a wall tent, and spend 6-7 days there, you just can't beat it. It's my favorite type of hunting. Now, hunting mountain caribou in British Columbia, hard to say that, British Columbia, has challenges to it. I'm not going to spoil it. You'll get to see it. But there were a number of challenges, notwithstanding grizzly bears. But hunting mountain caribou in British Columbia is not the easiest thing to do. There are lots of animals, but there are some restrictions that make it a little bit different and a little difficult. Not going to ruin it. Sit back and enjoy Life at the Lodge, hunting mountain caribou in British Columbia.
Welcome to the show. On this episode of Hardcore Hunter TV, we're heading to British Columbia to hunt for mountain caribou with my good friend Perry, owner of Deluxe Wall Tents. I've hunted caribou in Newfoundland, Labrador, and Quebec, but never out west, and I couldn't be more excited. So here we go, Hardcore Hunter TV, hunting mountain caribou in British Columbia.
Getting from my home in Nova Scotia to northern BC is no easy task. Step 1 is flying clear across the country from the east coast to the west coast. Step 2, take the ferry from Vancouver Island to the mainland. And step 3, drive 24 hours through some of the most beautiful country you will ever see. British Columbia is unlike any other province in Canada. Where else can you watch grizzly bears chasing salmon 10 feet off the main highway and black bears feeding all day long?
Alright, so it's Saturday, August 30th. We're just down at the dock. What you see up in that sky with all those white clouds, they all have to go before we can leave. So we're just kind of waiting for the weather to lift, for the clouds to part, and then we can take off. Once we do, there's our ride. Nice looking plane. Not the youngest plane. I guess he said it is 52 or 53 years old, older than I am. So we got to get in that, get that done, and then all of this stuff right down here needs to get inside that plane. That's an awful lot of gear for 2 guys for 7 days, but we need it. A few hours later, we get the word from Rick, the pilot, that it's time to go. So quick as we can, we get the gear loaded and head out on the last leg of our trip. That's it.
With the plane fast going out of sight, the next order of business is to set up our new home for the week. Show you what's going on, or how we've been living. So this is everything. We got our table there with all of our gear and food and plates and everything on it. That's my bunk over there on the right hand side. Perry over there on the left hand side. We have the most important thing, which is his diesel heater. It gets below zero, or right around zero, or a little bit below at nighttime, so it's cool in the morning, and we fire that up. After 3 days of travel and anticipation, it's finally time to go hunting. We climb high up on a mountain overlooking our camp and almost immediately start to see caribou.
All right, right there is our first grizzly, and it's a sow and two cubs, and you can see how far away they are. They're just miles and miles and well, not miles and miles, but maybe a couple miles away. But they're not far from our camp. You probably can't see it, but there's 3 caribou right on the very ridge below that big white mountain. They're about 3 miles away. We're going to head over there later on today, but to go after 3 caribous just doesn't make a whole lot of sense, just because of the distance and how much territory. We're having a great time. We're seeing lots of caribou, lots of bears. I'll give it to the BC boys. This is not for the faint of heart when it comes to what you need to do and where you need to travel in order to get a caribou, because we've walked at least 10 miles a day, every day. We're up on top of a mountain, glassing over this valley, and you know, it's just hard going no matter what you do. It just is what it is. But it's beautiful country, tons of animals, and it's just a great place to be. So
Later on, we catch up with the caribou in the distance, but they turn out to be a couple young but curious bulls, so we decided it's time to head back to camp. All right, it's supper time. My host has been kind enough to be doing all the cooking for most of it. I guess tonight's steak and potatoes. Steak and potatoes, yep. Perfect.
all right, it's what's today? Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Tuesday, yeah. So it's day 3 3.5 or 3.5. We actually were able to get a little bit of hunting in the first day, but not much. Day one, we seen at least 50 caribou. Had that big herd, right out in the open, right by the tent.
Yep.
Seen a sow and 2 cubs, 2 grizzly cubs. That was really cool.
And then 2 juveniles next day.
Yeah, day 2 we seen again another 50, 60 caribou, and then right in the same area as the sow and cub were 2 2-year-olds. Shootable grizzlies, but not what we're looking for. We're trying to get something a little more mature. Today didn't see as many caribou, didn't see any bear, but didn't see as many caribou. But we seen a nice bull come over the rise. Perry was on the camera for me because it's just the 2 of us doing this. I made a stalk, got within 30 yards.
Yeah.
And apparently in British Columbia, there's a silly rule that on the top of one antler, there has to be 5 points with a kicker out the back. And this guy had 4 points with the kicker out the back. So he wasn't a legal caribou and we couldn't shoot him, but I was 30 yards from him.
That's a good video, though.
Yeah, we got great video and it was a great opportunity. So we got 3 more days left. We fly out of here on Saturday, so we got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, maybe half a day Saturday. So we got lots of time. We're going to get it done, but right now we're going to finish our steak and potatoes and have a tea and go to bed because it's a long day. All right, it's day 5. Time to kill a caribou.
Absolutely.
But I'll get one today, so the weather's perfect. It's ready to go, so one more time up the mountain. All right, here we go. We got a couple caribou up top of the hill. We think they're small bulls, but it's day 5, and every animal we see we have to check out. You know, you see them in the binoculars, but they need to have those 6 points, and you just can't see that from half a mile away. So I'm going to go up, see what I got, and hopefully we'll get a caribou. It's getting down to the wire. It's day 5, but here we go. Hardcore hunter, trying to get her done. All right. 3 caribou, 2 bulls, 1 doe, or cow as they call it in BC. Nothing that we can shoot, so it's off to the next one. Did have something really cool happen this morning when we seen another group of caribou, went after them, same thing, cows and small bulls. Looked back and we seen a huge grizzly underneath the look-off, the mountain that we've been looking off, glassing off for the last couple days. So we went after him, but you know, couldn't find him, and then we seen these caribou. But great time, having lots of fun, seeing tons of animals, but just can't get 6 points up top. So got another day and a half, try to get it done, so here we go. All right, it's day 6, last day, about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Just seen the biggest caribou we've seen in 6 days. He had guns unloaded, by the way. He had bezzes that come out like that. He had double shovels, 2 stickers, and 4 points. I couldn't get the 5th point. What a nice animal. He's just big and huge and big old. Ugh. And that's it for the hunt, unless we stumble into something on our way back. But all this means is that there's going to be part 2 of our BC caribou hunt. Are you kidding me? It's the last morning. We're cooking breakfast. We're at the tent. The plane's on his way in. We look up, and skylined is a caribou. I got all the way up and he's got 4 on one side in the kicker, 3 on the other side in the kicker, and he needs 5 to be legal, so he's just not a legal bull, and there's nothing we can do about it. 6 days tramping up and down these hills 10 miles a day, and not 300 yards, 400 yards from camp is a nice mature bull, but just doesn't have what we need to shoot him. So I guess this is where the hard part of Hardcore Hunter TV comes into, because it is really hard to look at a mature animal and not be able to shoot it. But
Join us next week on Hardcore Hunter TV for part 2 of our BC Caribou Hunt as we head back to the mountains and finally connect with a trophy of a lifetime.